I welcome you all in the next video series of the chromatography. So in this video we are going to see an important topic of the chromatography, that is the gas chromatograph. So as we have covered the different type of chromatographic techniques, we have covered the paper chromatography, the thin layer chromatography, HPLC as well as HPTLC. So yet another important chromatographic approach, that is the gas chromatography. So let's start. So as we have completed some of the important chromatographic approaches, techniques. So for chromatography, yes, again we need to have a stationary phase. Yes, we need to have a sample. And in the gas chromatography, yes, we will special take care should be given while using the sample. So let's see what are the stationary phases, what are the mobile phase, and what are the sample requirements for the gas chromatography. First, let's see the types. So in your syllabus, you have to focus upon the two types, that is the GSC and GLC. It's very simple. As the name indicates, GSC stands for gas solid chromatography, whereas the modernized technique, that is the gas liquid chromatography, is frequently being used nowadays. And of course, the most important part of the gas chromatography is, yes, column. And as we have covered in the column chromatography, generally we use the glass columns. In case of HPLC, we need a special stainless steel columns. And in gas chromatography, yet again we use different type of column and mostly of coil shape. And there is a reason behind that. We will cover it. Don't worry in the further series. So basically, these are the results which I've got when I type in the Google Images. It is gas chromatography instrument. So yes, again, look at this. These are the images of the gas chromatogram that is frequently been used in the industry. Yes, again, it is a sophisticated instrument. It requires a completely automatic setup. Okay, so this is the gas chromatogram. So when we talk about its principle, let's see the general definition. Gas chromatography is a technique for separating. Yes, chromatography, where we use chromatography, yes, chromatography is a identification, it is a separation, it is a purification, just it is isolation technique. So let's see the gas chromatography is a technique for separating chemical substances that relies on difference in the partitioning behavior. So somewhat it means that gas chromatography is based upon the principle of partitioning. Okay, the partitioning behavior between a flowing mobile phase and a stationary phase to separate the component in a mixture. Yes, we need three things. Again, a mobile phase is there, and stationary phase is there, and of course a mixer. And always remember one thing, in case of gas chromatography, we generally used a carrier gas which act as a mobile phase. So when you see the different instrumentation of the gas chromatography, you see it, we have a special carrier gas is used which act as a mobile phase. So here it is a carrier gas assembly or carrier gas supply. And of course we need a flow controller to control the flow of this gas. Okay, so we need a pressure regulator, a flow controller for the particular gas that we have using. So next important thing, don't worry, we will do it in detail also, but next important thing is this point. So this is the point for the, you can say, the syringe for the injector of the sample. So you have a mobile phase, you have a sample. Yes, here is a column. So this is a special type of column, that is the coil shape, that is used in the gas chromatography, and this is a place where actual separation will take place. And again, a recorder or detector should be there. And here an important component is the oven. So column is basically placed inside a oven. Means we have to maintain the temperature condition of a particular column. Okay, so temperature has a very important role in the gas chromatography. So let's see how it works. First is the carrier gas system. Yes, we use the helium, nitrogen or the hydrogen gas as the carrier gas. So next is the sample introduction. So after that is the carrier gas, you have to introduce a sample. So in this way, we have different sample introduction systems. and the sample should be of a suitable size. And we use different type of GC sample system, or you can say sample injection system, like in this way. This is the auto sampler. Here is the automatic sampler. So this is a very sophisticated instrument. So it can take up to 150 samples, or the instantaneous injection, or it has an advantage that it will inject the same amount of sample in every time. Next important component is the column. So it is the heart of the gas chromatography system. Why? Because it is a place where actual separation will take place. So let's see how. So this is very fruitful diagram as far as my point of view, because this diagram will clear everything. So this is your carrier gas as indicated by the blue. Okay, this is the carrier gas, and here is your sample injection system. Again, you will put your sample injection system marked by the color pink. So when your carrier gas, that is your mobile phase, and again the sample, that is a mixture, it go inside the column, and inside the column we have already filled stationary phases there. Okay, we will see which type of stationary phases are used. Okay, so when they go inside your column, what happen? Yes, separation take place. Okay, because in column separation will take place, and we have different type of gas chromatography column, that is especially in the GLC technique. We have a packed column, or you can say the capillary type column. So this is the overview of this is the column, this is the coil shaped column. Okay, and this is your column. Basically, look at this is your column, these are the column. And why this is coil shape? Now the question arises, because it give us more time, it give us sufficient time to a mixture that containing the particular components, so that they will achieve separation at a particular time. Means column will, this special shape of the column, this coil shape of the column, or you can say the circular shape of this column, will increase the retention time. That means the sample that is the present as a mixture, it has a more time with the interaction with the stationary phase as well as mobile phase, and due to this enhanced time, it will get easily separated. Okay, so this is a special type column. That's why I'm showing you this PPT, because this is very important. Photographs are given and it is clearly understood. Look at this. Open capillary GC columns in this stationary phase is filled. Don't worry, I will tell you how to fill the stationary phase and what are different type of stationary phase, because this is another important component. But in this video, just go through once column chromatography, this gas chromatography column, and we will do the next part. Next, open tubular capillary columns is there. Look at this. In this, we will add a liquid also. Here is a comparison between packed and capillary column. Now see the most important phase, that is the stationary phase. So we have different type of stationary phases. Just see this. Methyl silicon, or we can see sometimes the coding are used like DB1701. Okay, and see this polarity. So we use both type of stationary phases. Like methyl silicon is non-polar, whereas the DB-Vax are sometimes used for the isolation of alcohol glycols, and these are polar. Okay, just see here why this is used for isolation of these, because alcohol is again a polar, somewhat polar, not a polar but somewhat polar as comparison to these hydrocarbon, because they are comparatively non-polar in comparison to alcohol. Yes, and we follow generally principle, that is like dissolve like. Now see this. Basically, stationary phase is packed in a column in the type of a thick film. Thick film is packed like this way. Now after column, what we have detectors like TCD, thermal conductivity, flame ionization, electron capture, flame photometric. Okay, the different type of detectors are used. So just see again different parts, that is the carrier gas, injection port, gas chromatography column, detector and recorder. So do watch the part 2 video. We will do the next part of the gas chromatography in detail in the part 2. Thank you for patience and listening. So in the last, I acknowledge all the resources that I have used. These are the references. So do not share this video in any platform. Thank you for listening. I welcome you all in the part 2 video of the gas chromatography. So in this video tutorial, we are again going to see some of the important concept of the gas chromatography. That is why it is known as the GSC, GLC, and what is the basic principle involved in the separation of the component that is present in the mixture. Okay, so the gas chromatography, as we know, it is a term used to describe the group of analytical separation technique used to analyze volatile substances. Volatile substances, this is important. In the gas phase, don't worry, we will do it. In gas chromatography, the components of a mixture, of a sample, are dissolved in the solvent and they are vaporized in order to separate the analyte by distributing between the two phases. So first thing is important in gas chromatography. First we think we have to vaporize our sample. We have to convert our sample in the form of vapors, and for this, yes, we use different type of instruments. We use different type of things. Okay. Second, what we use, stationary phase and mobile phase, and we know mobile phase is a gas, inert gas, and that will carry the molecules of the mixture through the column or the heated column, because we know column is packed inside an oven, so column is basically heated at a very high temperature. We will see the temperature range also. And the gas chromatography is one of the chromatographic techniques that does not utilize the mobile phase for interacting with the analyte. So that is important. It does not require or does not utilize the mobile phase for interacting with the analyte. And gas chromatography, if we are using a solid adsorbent, okay, then it is termed as a gas solid chromatography, that is GSC. And if in the gas chromatography the stationary phase is a liquid or an inert spot, it is termed as the gas liquid chromatography. So this is widely used GLC. Okay, so depending upon the stationary phase, gas chromatography is divided into two types, GSC and GLC. What is GSC? When the stationary phase is a solid adsorbent, it is termed as GSC, that is the gas solid chromatography. And when the stationary phase is used as a liquid on an inert spot, this is important. Yes, we use a liquid, but on an inert spot, it is termed as a gas liquid chromatography, GLC. Yes, in gas chromatography, it consists of mainly following parts. We know the carrier gas is used like helium, nitrogen, argon, and hydrogen also as a carrier gas, which can carry the mobile phase with their substance. And yes, we have to maintain the pressure of the gas, so we use different type of valves, so the pressure gauge is used, okay, which can maintain the temperature. For example, pressure that is 1 to 4 atmospheric pressure is maintained by this gauge. So second part is the sample injection system. So we have to introduce our sample with the help of micro syringes or with the help of a needle that is inserted in a particular septum. So see this important point. In gas chromatography, the mobile phase does not interact with the molecule of the analyte, and it only transports the analyte through the column. It means the mobile phase, that is the carrier gas in the gas chromatography, has only one function, that it will carry the mobile phase or carry the analyte. It does not interact with the components present in the mixture. Okay. And in general, we know gas solid chromatography and gas liquid chromatography are used. See this important line. In GLC, the analyte has a partition between gaseous mobile phase and a liquid stationary phase. The basic principle of gas liquid chromatography is partitioning. Why? Because mobile phase is used as a gas and the stationary phase here, yes, a liquid is used. So always remember one thing, in GLC the principle of partitioning is employed, whereas see in GSC what happened, the retention of analytes, okay, is the consequence of its physical adsorption onto the solid stationary phase. In GSC the principle of adsorption works because the stationary phase in case of gas solid chromatography is solid and the mobile phase is again a gas, carrier gas. So always remember one thing, in GSC adsorption is used and in GLC partition coefficient is employed. So next, after the carrier gas, next is the sample injection system. So we have completed this. It is used as a micro syringes are used. And we use two type of sample injector system. That is, the first one is the split and second is splitless. So the most important function of injector, as we have discussed, that the sample we are using in the gas chromatography must be vaporized. So it has a very important function. So induction port is a hollow, heated and a glass lined cylinder like this way. And the injector is heated so that the all components in the sample will be vaporized. And always remember one thing, if the temperature is too low, the separation is poor. And if the sample, or this you can say the injection sample is too high, it may deteriorate or decompose your sample. So it has a usual range of 50°C higher than the boiling point of least volatile component of the sample. Please see this diagram of injector. This is the place of the introduction of the carrier gas. Okay, carrier gas inlet is here, and this is the place you will inject your sample. So the most important component, why I am showing you this, it is heated metal block, because we have to convert our sample into the vapor state. Only then we will able to achieve any separation or any result. So yes, this is a vaporized chamber. Again, very important component. This is the vaporized chamber. So this is again the column. And we know the mobile phase, that is the carrier gas. And this is your sample that contain the mixture. They will go to the column, and column is the place where you have a stationary phase, and it is the heart of the gas chromatogram, because it is the place where separation will take place. So this is the diagram, the most important component of the injector. So the next important component is the separation column. We know it is the heart of gas chromatography is the column, and it is basically made up of U-shaped band, or you can say the coiled shape. Please see the previous video because we have covered it already. You see again there are general of two types, that is the packed and capillary. So packed column basically contain a finely divided inert solid support material and made up of diatomaceous earth, and which is coated with the liquid stationary phase. Always remember one thing, this is the stationary phase, which is a solid that is coated with a liquid. Okay, this is a support that is coated with the liquid stationary phase. Okay, so just see this, in this way we will pack our stationary phase, that is a chemically bonded stationary phase. And as we know, the column is packed inside a oven, so we have to maintain the column temperature. So basically what we will do, we will optimize the column temperature with the boiling point of the sample. So this is as per the sample, which means the temperature slightly above the average boiling point of the sample resulted into an elution of 2 to 30 minutes. Okay, and the minimum temperature gives good resolution, but it further increases the elution time. Resolution is increases, but time is again increases. And if a sample has a wide range of boiling ranges, suppose it has a different range of boiling constituents, then the temperature programming is there. So this is very important, a crucial step of the column, that is the temperature programming of the column, or you can say the oven. So there are different types of detector for detection of different type of components that is present in mixture. So we use flame ionization detector for the organic compounds, thermal conductivity detector, that is for the maximum all of the compounds. Then in this way, that is the flame photometric detector is used for the sulfur, phosphorus, tin, chromium, etc. And this is the PID, that is the photo ionization detector, is used for the aromatics, ketone, ester, etc. So see in the next lecture, these are the references I have used. Of course, do not share this video on any platform. So see you in the part 3 video. Do watch the part 3 video. We will complete the gas chromatography, the next part. Thank you. I welcome you all in the part 3 video of the gas chromatography. So far we have completed different components like carrier gas, flow controller, injector, porter, very crucial step. Okay, and then column is there. Column oven is used to maintain the temperature inside the column, and detector, there are different type of detectors that are used in the gas chromatography, and finally the recorder is there. So let's see. So let's see the one of the detector that is very crucial, that is the flame ionization detector. So this is, suppose this is the construction of the detector, that is, yes, we know ki the sample after passing through the column, the sample will definitely go inside the detector. See this, after passing through the column, again the sample, the constituent present in the mixture, they will get separated and go inside the detector for the detection. And the detector has inlet for hydrogen, which is a carrier gas, or you can say mobile phase, air or oxygen. To burn the hydrogen gas and the effluent gas from the chromatograph. Do see this. This is the place for the hydrogen gas. So basically what happened? A flame is produced. That's why it's known as the flame ionization detector. Let's see again. In this way, this is the flame is used. Flame is produced in this FID, that is the flame ionization detector. See what happened in FID. It is widely used because it senses carbon ions, okay, then allowing it to detect virtually any organic solvent or the compound. In FID, the samples that is present in the analyte, they combust, okay, they combust in a hydrogen air flame as they exit the column, thus producing carbon ions that induce a current in nearby electrodes. And particularly this current is basically directly proportional to carbon mass, thus concentration of ions can be determined. See again, so these are the electrode that is used. So let's see a video from this channel. It will tell us about how the flame ionization detector work. So I found this video very useful. You can also go for this channel and watch directly the video. So just here, this is your injector. Again, the mixture that is to be analyzed go inside your column. So column is a place where the separation will take place. Here again the separation will take place inside the column, and then what happen? They will go to the detector. So this is the detector. Again, this is the capillary column. What happened? There is a hydrogen inlet in the detector. So hydrogen gas, they mix with the carrier gas, the mobile phase or your analytes. And the next step is the oxygen inlet. This is very important. We have to make sure that we have oxygen inlet, and flame must be produced if it contains at least 10% oxygen. Okay, so a flame is ignited by burning hydrogen, oxygen and carrier gas in this way. Just see this, flame is ignited. So first of all, flame is produced. Now what happened? After the production of this flame, our samples, or you can say the mixture that is separated, it will hit the flame. Analytes are burnt by the flame, so it produces ions. So these ions are particularly, they hit in the particular plates, or you can say the detector plates, and they give a particular spectra or a graph, and we have to obtain this peak signal, and we have to interpret this peak signal to find out what is present in this ions, or what are the compound that have been identified or screened. So I acknowledge this channel again, Mr. Simple Science, a very useful video. So again, carrier gas is there. I am repeating again. Injector port, again this is very important because we have to vaporize our sample, and then will the sample and the gas will again go inside the column. Column is the place where stationary phase is packed, and we know in gas chromatography we have GSC and GLC. When the stationary phase is solid, it is gas solid chromatography, and when stationary phase is a liquid, then it is a gas liquid chromatography. Okay, but liquid in the solid support, we can say in GLC the stationary phase is a liquid on the solid inert support. Then the detector is there. Again we have seen the flame ionization detector, and lastly the peaks are produced by the field recorder, and we have to interpret our peaks to find out the final results. So let's see the application of the gas chromatography. So it is widely used in the analysis of the airborne pollutants, means in environmental sciences it is used. Then performance enhancing drugs in athletes' urine samples. Okay, and GC is applicable for various type of volatile oil. GC is widely used for the identification of volatile oils, because in volatile oil they are easily converted into the vapor state. Suppose if we have a solid sample, so we have to done the GC. What we will do, we will convert the solid sample firstly into the vapor state, then we will set up a gas chromatograph. Okay, So gas chromatogram is applicable for the volatile samples. So next is the, yes, it is very accurate. It has a used in the quantitative as well as the qualitative estimation of different type of constituents. So the pollutants like formaldehyde, carbon monoxide, benzene and DDT well estimated by using the gas chromatography, analysis of the foods like carbohydrates, protein, lipids, vitamins, steroids, drugs, pesticide residues and the trace elements are also being quantified with the gas chromatography. Yes, it is a use for the separation and identification of the volatile materials, natural and synthetic polymers, paints, microbiological samples. So let's see some of the important questions MCQ related to the gas chromatography. For this, I acknowledge the website, that is indiabricks.com. So you will also go by this website and start attempting the questions. And always remember one thing, do check the answers by the book. So which of the following is not used for detection of GC? Yes, we use flame ionization. IR spectroscopy is also used. I think the NMR is a bit confusing. So NMR is the right answer. Which of these result for slow injection? So slow injection again decrease the resolution. The GC trace obtained from experiment is called, we know, chromatogram is obtained, not the graph. It is like a graph, but we can call it a chromatogram. Then which of the following detectors given concentration dependent signals? Then the electron capture, thermal conductivity, infrared. I think all of these is answer. So I request you to go by detail, especially students of 7 semesters, you have to go by detail of all the detectors. And as far as the 5th semester, this is more than sufficient. So what useful information can be found from Van Demeter plot? Yes, flow rate. I think the flow rate will be the right answer. These are more questions. Let's see this question. Derivatization of a sample is carried out to. So we have to derivatize our sample because reduce the polarity, yes. Increase the detection response, yes. Increase the volatility of the analytes, yes. All of these is the right answer. So this is all of these. In gas chromatography, which is correct? Gas chromatography used to analyze gases, yes. Analyze gases, analyze solids, analyze solids, liquid, yes. All of these is the right answer. So it is very simple, yes. All of these. So I hope now you have a brief idea about the gas chromatography. So these are the references that I have used. I once again acknowledge all the sources that I have used to prepare this video, especially YouTube, OER, SiteShare, Google Images, etc. So do not share this video in any electronic platform. Okay, do not share this video in any electronic platform. So see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you for your patience and listening. I welcome you all in the next part of the gas chromatography series. So in this video, we are going to see the separation concept, how the separation is achieved in the gas column. So first of all, let's recall the major parts. Mobile phase is there, that is the carrier gas. We need an injector port. That is a very important component because at this point the temperature is very high. As we know, in the gas chromatography, we need to volatilize our sample. If the sample is present in the liquid state, it will convert it into the vaporized one. So again, then this is the place where the column, the separation will take place. The column is packed with the stationary phase. Stationary phase will be a liquid. When it is liquid, it is known as the gas liquid chromatography. And when the stationary phase is a solid, it is gas solid chromatography. Of course, detectors are there, like flame ionization detector is very frequently been used, and of course the recorder. So let's see what happened inside this column. So suppose this is your column, and in the column, suppose I marked with the, just I want to use this brush. So let's see, this is the carrier gas. Okay, these are the carrier gas molecules. And we know in the mobile phase that is used in the column, the gas chromatography is specially of inert gas. So it does not have any function. Okay, so it does not have any function. It has a major function. It has the only function is to move the, you can say, to move the analyte with itself. And here we have, suppose here is the injection port, and here we will insert our mixer or the analyte. Just see here, again see the diagram I want to show you. This is the carrier gas. So again the carrier gas, the function is to move the mobile phase. Okay, to move it move the components present in the sample which is injected through this injected port towards the column. So carrier gas will move all the analytes that is present in a particular mixture, and that will be injected by a particular port. So let's see again. So this is a gas and these are the mixture. So what happens? Carrier gas will move all the components. It will mix with the your analyte, or you can say the mixture. Okay. And we know this is the column, and in the column, suppose we will talk about the GLC, the gas liquid chromatography. The stationary phase is basically a liquid, but it is on the solid support. Suppose I mark with the green color. Okay, so this is your suppose stationary phase. That is a liquid stationary phase. So in most of the cases in GLC, what we will do? We will use a stationary phase, a liquid stationary phase. We will use a stationary phase which have very high boiling point, because as we know the column is again, it was inside your oven, and the oven temperature we will exceed up to suppose 300 to 400 degrees Celsius. So what we will do, we have to use a particular liquid stationary phase that will have a high boiling point. So suppose you have used here a liquid stationary phase that is a high boiling point liquid. What happens when the interaction, when the mixture of the mobile phase and your analyte which contain a particular mixture, because in chromatography we always have to use mixture, or we have to analyze a particular component present in a particular sample. So what happens? The interaction starts between what? Between your analytes, or you can say the components or the sample, with the stationary phase. And we know the nature of stationary phase in this case is the high boiling point. So what happens? And the function of gas is to move. The gas particles will carry all the analytes which is present in this particular mixture. So what happens? Now tell me, which type of compound will elute first? Which type of compound will elute first? So it has a simple explanation. The compounds which have low boiling point will elute first. Because why? Because of the nature of the stationary phase, it has a high boiling point. Okay, that is the reason, that is the main reason that I am going to tell you now. We have to increase the temperature of your particular oven. That is known as the temperature programming of the oven. When we increase the temperature of the particular oven, okay, only then the compounds which have high boiling point, they will elute out. So I hope this is clear. Okay, so suppose this is again, let's recall again. I think we have a time. Yes, we have 5 minutes. So suppose in case of gas liquid chromatography, we need 3 things. We need a gas that is used as a mobile phase. It is marked by a blue color. And yes, we have a, in the injector port, in the injector system, we will inject our sample in the vaporized form. Suppose this red is your sample, and of course the sample will contain a mixture. So what happens when this sample interact with the stationary phase? And in case of GLC, we are using a liquid stationary phase that is on the solid support. So generally in case of GLC, we are using a stationary phase that having high boiling point. So what happens when the analytes which is present in the mixture get interacted with this stationary phase? What will happen? The gas particles will again, it has a property of the moving. So what happens? The compounds which have low boiling point will elute first. Okay, and when we again start increasing the temperature of an oven, the compounds which is present in the mixture that have a high boiling point will elute later, because the nature of stationary phase is what? It has a high boiling point liquid. Okay, so I think this is clear. So this is the process, means how the separation will take place in GLC. So I think this is clear. So see you in the next part. Thank you for your patience and listening.